What's up, guys? My name's John. This is the No Prescription Show. It's been dead for years. I had this sitting on my YouTube, and I figured I'm not doing anything else. I might as well start recording videos again. So this is just a first take, but I'm going to be upgrading some video equipment and hopefully make this more professional as these videos go on. But we'll see once I get to like 50, 60 videos, see if you guys are liking it. But really, these are going to be more life focused, and these will change over time. As I change, these will change. But I just couldn't sit here and let No Prescription Show die any longer. We had a pretty good thing going there for a little while, and so I want to just at least do something with this channel. So first and foremost, I want to start doing some finance stuff. That's going to be the main portion of this. Just honestly, I just turned 30, and my 20s were a absolute wreck, and I wasted so much time. And if I could go back, especially when it comes to money, there's so many things that I would do differently. So this is in a roundabout way. I'm just, all you guys that are turning 21, 20, or all you guys that are just joining the workforce, maybe you just got out of college, whatever it is, there's some things that you should be doing. And I want to, help you guys out with that. So, first and foremost, get Excel. That's my number one advice. I got some main pieces for you. Number one, get Excel. That's going to be crucial. And number two, get a bank account. You need two accounts. You need your checking account, and you need your savings account. And it's age old. It's an age-old saying, but you always gotta save. Pay yourself first before you pay any bills, before you do anything else. And whether it's 10%, whether it's whatever, it doesn't matter. But the first thing you gotta do is you gotta figure out what you're spending your money on. If you're spending your money on things that don't improve your life, and I'm not talking about on a day-to-day basis, if you're not willing to make some sacrifices, then how do you expect to change things around? Especially if you're struggling. If you got it figured out, good for you. That's awesome. But a lot of people struggle just to get to that point. I struggled just to get to that point where I was actually like building up an emergency fund, building up a bank account, making sure that I had enough money in there so if my clutch goes out in my car, I can actually pay it. That sort of stuff. So that's what this is going to start off as, and then we'll kind of go from there. A little background about me: I am self-taught 100%. So when I grew up in a tiny little town. I've been a country boy since long before I can remember. I moved to Colorado when I was 6 years old, and I've been bucking hay bales on ranches and doing that sort of thing. Climbing, had mountains in my backyard. I was just been climbing mountains and camping and riding horses and riding four-wheelers and just hanging out in the woods and doing that kind of stuff all the time. And so that was really what I did. That was like my whole vibe. And then after high school, I was about to go to Boulder, go to school, and I just decided to go be a ski bum instead. So I went to Crested Butte Mountain Resort, and I lived on the mountain with some friends. I got paid $9 an hour, and I would snowboard to work every day, and then I would snowboard home to my back door, and we'd light a fire, and we'd just play Call of Duty Zombies or whatever, you know what I mean? And I just had one job after another after that. After I got off the mountain, I got to the point where I was just really lost, honestly, trying to figure out what I was going to do. That was my whole point. I didn't want to go to college until I knew what I was going to do. And then, here I am, 12 years later. I never went to college. But right now, I'm doing pretty well. And I've gone from, living in a van to having my own place with 2 cars and actually being able to save money, being able to travel, being able to do things like that. And a lot of that, most of that is due to just doing my due diligence and understanding finances and sitting down and reading books and figuring out all those hard things that I didn't actually want to I didn't have time for it when I was a kid. All I wanted to do was smoke weed and drink. And I look back at it now and I'm like, you idiot. Why did you do that? You know, I would have so much money. I would be such a rich man right now if when I was 21, I just didn't smoke weed, I didn't drink, and I didn't waste my money buying coffee and energy drinks every day and going out and every single day for lunch at work getting McDonald's or getting or whatever it might be. You know, those things, you think they don't matter, but they matter. They matter so much, and that's the whole point. That's why I'm doing this. That's what inspired me to do this, because I want to help you guys in the most unsophisticated way possible, the most easy way to understand way possible. What I keep seeing is that I learned basically everything I know. A lot of what I know I learned from YouTube, because YouTube is like this. It's just this wealth of knowledge, and so anytime I had a question, I would turn to either Google or YouTube. And so I would go into YouTube and I would look for stuff, and I would just end up getting so overwhelmed because let's be honest, a lot of times with people that post on YouTube, especially these guys that have like a lot of views, like just views and views and views, what they have is an extensive background in finance or whatever it is, and they are, let's just say, layman's is not really part of their repertoire. Like they don't have, it's a lot of it is really confusing, especially if all you need is the bare bones. And there's, don't get me wrong, there's some really, really good videos out there. That's what helped me learn. But I've just found if you can use Excel and you can learn some very basic, just money saving and money, reading techniques, so that you can look at your own bank account and you can start to decipher what is eating your money, then you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. And in 10 years' time, you can have enough money to buy a house. You can have enough money to buy a car. You can have enough money to invest in the stock market. You can have enough money to invest in your own whatever you want to do. And that's really what it takes. You know, they say that first 100,000 is the hardest to get. And it's so true. It is so true. And you really have to make some sacrifices if you're going to get there. And, you know, not everybody does. Obviously, some people strike gold. Some people hit it rich. Some people make a great video, and that can happen for sure. But, you know, for all the other millions of us that are out here working on 9-to-5 jobs, trying to make ends meet, and then going home and doing all the other things that you got to do, it's hard. And sometimes it's that slight edge that you need to just get yourself up over the edge. You know, Einstein said that the theory of compound effect is the most powerful force in the universe. I believe that so much. That's like the whole point of a investment retirement account, is that, you know, that interest, letting interest play to your strengths. You look at somebody like Mr. Beast. You know, people see him and they're like, oh, he's got all this millions and millions of dollars and he just gives it away. But if you actually look at what the guy did, he's got years and years of struggling and sacrificing to get to where he was. And all of a sudden it worked out. And it doesn't work out like that for everybody. But if you just put in the work and you do those little things, that's how you can make the money. That's how you can earn financial freedom. That's how you can get to that place where you want to get out of the rut. But you got to be willing to look yourself in the mirror and say, I have bad habits, and there's some things that I need to stop doing. And for me, the mirror is an Excel spreadsheet. That's the mirror for me, is an Excel spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it, how I figured out how dumb I was, and then how I started to turn that around, and how I was able to actually start to make money, even having all of these expenses. And I have a lot of expenses because I'm an idiot, and I did a lot of stupid things. And I'm going to try to help you guys not fall into those pitfalls so you guys can be farther ahead. So by the time you guys hit 30, you already have 100K in the bank. If you're 20 right now and you follow these rules, if you're 20 years old right now and you follow these rules, I guarantee you that you will have $100,000 in the bank by the time you hit 30. And that is, of course, if you don't have like a tragic life event or something like that comes along and saps that money. But that's the point, right? Is you got to have money set aside for something like that, so that when it happens, you have something. That's what an emergency fund is all about. And a lot of you this might be your first time even hearing what an emergency fund is. So I'm going to go through a lot of these topics with you guys. We're going to hit this from A to Z. And so hit me up in the comments if you guys have any topics that you'd like me to go deeper in on. But first and foremost, this is kind of an intro into just what this is going to be about, what this first segment is going to be about. This channel is going to change and evolve over time, but really this is going to be a big piece of it. So I just want to throw this out there for you guys. And there's going to be a lot to come. So get ready. We're going to be doing a lot of Excel stuff, just a lot of basic understanding of what Excel does. This is not something that can not only help you with your finances, but it can also help you in careers, things like that. And there's so much you can do with Excel. It's absolutely insane. And I'm sure there's lots and lots and lots of video tutorials on Excel out there. One thing that I have that I can help you guys with is that I can explain Excel. I teach people Excel every day for my job. It's what I do. I work in the cannabis industry, and all I do is look at reports and pull reports and analyze data in Excel. And that's what kind of gave me the idea to first dive into my own finances and export my checking account into Excel. And I did that for all of 2021 and 2022. And I looked at how much I spent at Starbucks. Yo, what am I doing? I was so mad. When you see everything stacked up like that, it's different. It's different cognitively in your head. It's just a different thing because you don't think about it every day. You're like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. It's just $10. Just $10. It's just $10. It's just $10. But you freaking spend $10, right? You do that every day, okay? There's 5 days in a week, right? Okay, so there's 5 days in a week. How many weeks are there in a year? There's 52 weeks in a year, okay? So if there's 52 days in a year and there's 5 days a week and you buy a coffee every single day at Starbucks, right? So you're going to take 52 times 5, so there's 52 weeks, right? So you got $10 times 5, so we've got $50. $50 a week. $50 a week times 52 weeks, right? You just spent $2,600 in a year on Starbucks coffee. Now, did you buy lunch that day? Because that's normally $15, right? So if it's $2,600 for that, right? It's $2,600 for that. All right, $2,600 for that. Then what if it's a $15 burger, right? So it's a $15 burger. So we'll do this. We'll go equals this times 15. So that's now $75 a week that you're spending. $75 a week if you're buying one $15 meal every single day. That's $4,000 a year. That doesn't include the coffee you bought. This is pretty normal. You're spending $25 a day. $25 a day on food, right? Whatever it is. And that's only your coffee for the morning and one meal for your lunch for work, whatever it might be. And that's 5 days a week. It's only 5 days. It's not even all the days. Look at this. $2,600, yo. $2,600. This is just absolutely psychotic. Okay, this is psychotic. This is something that I realized, and I started to be like, what am I doing? I'm spending $6,500 a year on what? On Starbucks? They're rich enough. They don't need my money. You know what I mean? So you start to take these little things, these little $10, they say death by 1,000 cuts. This is real. This is 100% real. If theory of compound effect is the most powerful form in the universe, but it also works in reverse, right? So if you're on that exponential curve, that's Mr. Beast. You know what? You start from 0 and now you got 123 million followers. It's like subscribers. That's exponential growth. But it also works in reverse. If you're not watching this stuff and you're letting it just slice and slice and slice away, and you start to not be able to get to the end of the next week. You get your paycheck, and then by the time you can't even get to the next one because you already spent it all. It's like this is the stuff that's doing that. And there's, these are life lessons that if I would have known when I was just entering the workforce at 18, right now, I guarantee you I would have $100,000. $100,000. So, and I'll show you what. That's just this right here. Just that $25 for 5 days a week. If I would have multiplied this by 12 years, I'm 30 now. If I would have started when I was 18, right? We take this by 12. That one sacrifice of instead of spending $10 on a coffee and instead of spending $15 on food, and I spent a lot more than this, by the way. I spent a lot more than $25 a day because I was also buying other stuff. I'd buy snacks, and I'd buy this, and I'd buy that, and then I had dinner, and then I had breakfast, and then I had whatever it was, and I'd buy weed, and then I'd buy cigarettes because I was smoking cigarettes at the time, and then I would buy... Oh my God. The amount of money that I wasted. Just this $25 a day over a 12-year period, that's $78,000 that I would still have in my bank account today. Still don't believe me that I can make you $100,000 if you're 20 right now? Stay tuned.